Okay, so we're back with the Russell Hobbs Bread Maker. And I did say to you in one of my other videos that I'm going to make some olive and sun-dried tomato bread, a really Mediterranean loaf of bread. And well, I'm going to share it with you because I've had a couple of people ask me where the vlog is. So here it is. We're back with the Russell Hobbs Bread Maker. I've got everything ready. This is so simple, so easy, you would not believe it. Okay, I'm using a recipe from this. It's called Brilliant Bread Making in Your Bread Machine, and it's by Catherine Atkinson. Cost me about £6. I got this from Amazon, and it gives you so many different recipes for your bread maker, and that's what we're going to do. So let's just look at what we've got. And everything is ready and prepared. So I just want to show you how very simple is this. Oh, I've just got something over there I'd forgot to bring forward. So what have we got to make this Mediterranean loaf? Obviously, the bread maker. I've got 600 grams there of strong flour, anything from the supermarket. 360 grams or 360 millilitres of a warm tepid water, and then we've got that Mediterranean ingredients. 60 grams here of dried, sun-dried tomatoes. Buy them from any supermarket, and I've just finely chopped them. Then I've got 60 grams of olives. Now these olives I bought from the supermarket, and they were soaking in like a basil and lemon sort of marinade. So I just thought that would add a little bit of a touch to it, and yeah, I just think the more you can get in here, the Mediterranean, the better. Some herbs here. We've got what have I got there? I've got 1 1/4 teaspoons of thyme and 1 1/4 teaspoons of oregano. I've got some salt there. The recipe actually says 1 1/4 teaspoons full of salt. I've just popped in there, sorry, there's the salt. I've just popped in there 1 teaspoonful of salt. I just wanted to bring that back a bit. I didn't want so much salt in there. Then we've got the quick fast action yeast, 1 1/4 teaspoons. You see, it's all very simple. You don't really need to measure any of this out. Then we've got 2 1/2 tablespoons there of olive oil. And that's all we need. That's the magic that goes inside there. You can see the paddle at the bottom there that does all the magic and the mixing and everything else. And we just need to now pop it all together. So what they say, take the water, pour that in first. So liquid in first, into the bottom. Then I'm going to pour in that olive oil. Lovely. Just look at that. Then I'm going to pop in some honey. So I've got in there, again, only a couple of teaspoons of honey. It's actually 4 teaspoons full of clear honey. Now I can't do this one-handed, so I'm going to pop this in there, and then I'm going to come back to you. Okay, so honey is in there, tucked away in with that olive oil and that water. Then what we're going to do is we're going to pop in some of the flour, about half of the flour into there. There we go. So the flour's in there. Then we're going to sprinkle in some salt around the edges. Then we're going to take some of those herbs, sprinkle them around the edges. Well, that's not really around the edges, it's across the middle. Take the olives, sprinkle that. Oh, this is absolutely, the smell is amazing. Sun-dried tomatoes, sprinkle, get those in there. Just look at that. Don't tell me that that does not look Mediterranean. It's the smell, I cannot tell you what the smell is like. I'm not a fan of olives, but the smell here is, it's just taking me back to a Greek island or a Spanish island with a glass of, oh, it's just amazing. You have got to try this. You really must. Then take the rest of the flour and pop that in to there as well. And then what they're saying is just make a little dent in the middle there. Just with my finger, take the yeast and pop that yeast into there. That, ladies and gents, is all there is to it. You then lift the lid of the bread maker, pop your pan in and secure it like that into place. Then you bring the lid down, go for your settings and turn it on. But I'm going to leave that lid up, okay, just for a second, because I still want that smell. But the setting we're going to go on for here today, we're going to go, you've got a setting here for the type of crust, and I'm going to go for quite a nice brown crust. So I'm going for the crust on the brown. There we go. What that's actually done, if you can see that, is that's highlighted that crust sign there. We're going for a large loaf up there. So we press this to bring that to a large loaf. It's going to take 3 hours, 20 minutes. We're not going on a timer. We're ready to roll. So all we need to do then is just bring that lid down, look in there at that magic, turn it on, and then wait 3 hours, 20 minutes. So here we go. It's going on. We're on. And you should see that paddle start to mix now. There we go, look. Now I would lift that lid up, but you can see the way the flour puffs up. And we don't want the flour to hit us in the face or waste anything. But that now will just work on that mixture, mix it into a dough, then it will let it prove, and then it will mix it down again, then prove, then mix it down again, and then it starts to bake it, and the smell is amazing. We will check in as we go through this, just so you can see what's happening. But in there, my friends, is the recipe for a Mediterranean loaf of olives and sun-dried tomatoes. The smell is amazing. The herbs smell amazing. You've got to try it. If you've got a bread maker, give it a try. If you haven't got a bread maker, then to be quite honest, I think this is one reason why you should buy one. We'll come back to you shortly. We'll check in just to see how that's going. We've had a minute. We've now got 3 hours and 19 minutes left. We will check in and we'll see how things are proceeding later on. Okay, 3 minutes 17 left, so we're 3 minutes now into it, and I'll just let you have a look in there, look. You can see how that mixture has all been bound together by that paddle at the bottom. There's just a little bit left on the side, but I know that that will actually get mixed in as we go through the process. But that is what happens. In fact, it looks quite freaky. It looks like some sort of thing you'd get on the moon at the moment. But can you see the olives and the tomatoes in that mixture? And that paddle at the bottom is kneading all that and getting that ready. So I'm going to shut that lid. We're going to let the magic carry on, and we'll come back to you later and we'll start to share the experience of making a Mediterranean loaf. Okay, so we're halfway in now. Well, not halfway in, half an hour in actually. 2 minutes and, 2 hours, 50 minutes left. Then let's just have a quick look in here. You can see how the bread's coming. Nicely bound together, all kneaded, nice little ball. We've just had a stop there. That is starting to get warm in there, so I'm going to shut that lid down because that's obviously starting to prove, and I shouldn't really open that lid much more moving forward. So yeah, we'll come back to you later on when we can see something else is happening in our Russell Hobbs Bread Maker. Okay, so 2 hours. Just trying to get the light in there so you can actually see it. There we go. 2 hours and 12 minutes left. What's going on there? And let's have a look inside, and you can actually see how that has risen. It's all proved. It's gone through the entire tin, so it's now just sitting there, proving away quite nicely, rising up, getting ready to do that bake right at the end of the program. I don't know why I'm whispering. I think it's because I don't want to make it collapse. But you can see the tomatoes in there, you can see the olives. It just, oh, I can't wait. But anyway, 2 hours and 12 minutes to go. So we've done 1 hour and 8 minutes. Oh, here we go, look. Oh, that was a stroke of luck. So we're going through another kneading program. Oh. Is that it? It's almost as if it heard me filming, but it's obviously just had a bit of a ruttle around in there. I think that's it. No more. Okay, we'll come back later. We're now 2 hours, 11 minutes left. So let's come back later and see what we can see. So 1 hour and 10 minutes left to go. There we go. And it's really getting exciting inside the Russell Hobbs Bread Maker. You can see how well that loaf has risen. I don't think it started baking. It's still proving. And I think it's about to go into the bake. But that is a good size loaf of bread. You can see there the speckles of the sun-dried tomato. You can see the herbs in there. It just looks, I cannot wait. I really cannot wait for us to slice that open and just sample it. You've got the olives in there as well. It's just going to be magnificent. It really is. So 1 hour, 10 minutes. Then the beeper's going to go off, and then we should be able to bring that out and have a look at it, and we'll see what's going on. We'll come back to you nearer the time. Okay, so it's gone beep. I think I've got a big one. And it went so big that it started to push the lid open. Oh, but as you can see, I'm not sure how. It is a big loaf, actually.
It's
so
huge.
It is huge.
It's much bigger than the last one you did.
Yeah, so I need to get it out.
Ooh.
Without sort of
ruining it,
per se.
Oh, crikey.
Just get it out of there we go. Ta-da!
Ta-da!
I completely mashed the top of it.
Oh, well, never mind, doesn't matter.
But it's a big loaf of Mediterranean sort of bread. Oh.
Look at that.
I went for a brown.
Oh my God.
Browner crust. That's where the paddle goes in there.
Yeah.
That is one mammoth loaf of bread. I went for a browner crust this time.
Yeah.
Oh. I think
Mm-hmm.
it's gone so big because of two reasons. One is I put less salt in it.
Okay.
And when you put less salt in, salt is an inhibitor for yeast.
Ooh, is it?
So if you didn't put salt in it, the yeast would go absolutely mad and this would have taken over the kitchen.
Right.
So I actually put less salt in it than the recipe, which means it's given it more to rise.
Okay.
So possibly good if I was making a smaller loaf, not such a big loaf inside that. So if I went for, say, for a 500 gram loaf, it would have risen perfectly, whereas this is an 850 gram loaf and it's risen too much. Hence the reason why the top looks a bit like a high street on Beirut. But also, there's a lot of sugar in this because I had to put some honey in it. And I think that's another thing because there's a lot of sugariness in there and yeast loves a bit of sugar. So that's in there as well. So
I know that from thrush. Never mind, carry on. Keep going.
That's...
Sorry.
I'm just not going to get rid of you ever, am I? I do apologise for any people out there that really did not wish to hear that. But anyway, back to my loaf of bread.
I won't tell you about the piles.
Okay.
Oh dear.
God.
Sorry.
Right, look, anyway, so we're going to let that cool down and then we're going to slice it
yummy.
just to see what it's going to be like inside. We are going to have that for tea tonight, not the entire loaf.
I'm going to say.
Because we're
want me
going
to get through the door
we're going to have
later?
it with some hummus.
Oh, nice.
I've got some nice sort of lemon and coriander hummus to have with it. I've got some nice pepper hummus. I've got some cold meats to have with that as well. So we can have a bit of a Mediterranean picky tea.
Nice.
And then I thought I'd throw in a bottle of Prosecco as well.
Oh, I do like you.
So we'll come back later, once that's cooled down, slice it open, and we'll have some tea and we'll taste it and we'll have some Prosecco.
Okay.
And we'll see what happens next.
Okay.
Okay, so here we are. It's cooled down. It's still a bit warm, but I think that is going to just add to the enjoyment of it. And we've got some Prosecco. We've got some sort of creamy, cheesy, filled peppers. Got some hummus here with lemon and coriander. And some antipasta meats here as well. So we're going to have that for nibbles tonight. Just going to slice open this loaf just to see what it's like. Just have a look at the texture. Will we be... Now look at that. That is just adorable. Look, springy, fresh, light. You can see those tomatoes. You can see the herbs in there. The little bits of... Okay. And...
Oh, that's lovely.
Is it? You can see the olives in there, which I've always called the testicles of the devil, but I thought they smelt quite nice.
Why the testicles of the
I
devil?
don't know, I always have done, but I'm just going to taste that and...
It's nice, isn't it? Is there pepper in there as well?
There's olives, there's sun-dried tomatoes,
Right.
there's, I can't remember which two, thyme, and I think, just check on that, have a look at that. What else was it? It was thyme and oregano in there, so...
I'm just going to correct you and call it, no, it's origami, but it's not, is it? It's
No, it's
oregano.
not, no.
Or as the Americans say, oregano.
Do they?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know, it's oregano.
Oh, anyway, welcome Americans.
Yes.
This has got oregano in it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, bless him. Anyway, so there we go. Look, this is lovely. You can have this with toast. You can eat this with soups. You can have it with pasta. You can have it with salads. I'm going to take some sandwiches to work.
I could say, actually, to be honest with you, you could just have them as sandwiches.
Yes.
I mean, you don't just have to have normal
Yeah,
bread, do you?
absolutely.
God, we must be heathens, aren't we? Probably people are shouting at the screen saying, well, why do you have that in my sandwiches every day? I've never had spicy bread or whatever, posh bread for sandwiches before.
But it is lovely, isn't it?
It is,
It
it's
is a
lovely.
beautiful bread, and
absolutely
I'm
lovely.
really pleased on that. So look, baked it in the Russell Hobbs Bread Maker, 3 hours 20 minutes. You saw me put the ingredients in there. I used it from a cookbook that wasn't related to Russell Hobbs Bread Maker, so it just goes to show. If I change anything next time, I wouldn't make such a larger loaf. I'd make a smaller loaf, which would then come up and look more complete, rather than, as I said, looks a bit like
It's only us that's going to eat,
High
isn't it?
Street in Beirut. But that's it. So I think it's fair to say another success with the Tin Tin Kitchen. Yeah, thanks very much. Please, please, please give us a thumbs up. We really do appreciate it. Leave your comments. Here she goes. I knew it wouldn't be long. Cheers, Mrs. T.
Cheers, my darlings.
Thank you. Can you keep the camera straight? Yeah, sure. Yeah. Yeah. Keep leaving us comments. It's really good. Don't we enjoy the
Yeah, we
comments?
do actually.
We actually love the comments. And the guy who the other week turned around and said you have been watching our videos, do you know what? That's made our day.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
you.
Please don't forget to hit that red button and subscribe, because
what
the
you did
more of you subscribe, the more of these little things we can bring to you. We're going back to the Kadak next.
Ooh.
Yep, so we're going to be doing some Kadak cooking. Please carry on tuning in. We appreciate it all the time. You don't know how much. Thank you very, very much for watching, and bye for now.
Bye.